Mass-produced glass items are typically shaped by automated machines, which insert molten glass into an assembly line of molds. Specialty items are usually cast individually, with the artist manually planting the molten glass in a mold crafted by skilled mold makers. These molds for making specialty glass items are entirely handcrafted. This one, comprised of 3 sections, produces the ornate shade of a glass candle lamp. This one, comprised of 2 sections, produces the lamp's base. The glass manufacturer submits the design sketch of the item to the mold shop. The shop, using computer software, converts the sketch into technical drawings. Then, following the drawings, workers prepare a wooden pattern of the mold. They first make a cardboard template for each mold section. Then trace the template on a piece of wood. Saw along the pencil line. Then finalize the shape with a sander. They send the patterns for the mold sections to a foundry, which casts copies in iron. These iron castings are rough, so when they return from the foundry, the mold makers refine each section with a series of milling machines. This takes a tremendous degree of expertise, as these are not computer-guided automated machines. These skilled tradesmen maneuver the mills manually, following the technical drawings. Once they finalize the shape, they use a drill press to bore holes for the hefty pins, on which the mold sections will pivot open and closed. Iron is the ideal material for glass molds because it withstands a temperature of over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit for molten glass. Iron does expand with such heat. However, once cool, it contracts and resumes its original shape without any distortion. They mount the mold section on the lathe to begin forming the cavity. Using a tool called a boring bar, a mold maker shapes the cavity as per the technical drawings. Then, he takes the mold section off the lathe and paints the cavity yellow to give him a bright background against which to sketch out the fine details of the design. This particular pattern features circles, which he sketches with compasses. Using an arsenal of chisels with different size and shape tips, he chips the metal to carve out what he sketched. Again, he follows the technical drawings meticulously, giving the carved lines the specified depth and profile. Once he finishes the pattern, he mounts the mold section on one side of a mechanical copying machine called a pantograph. On the other side, he mounts another section of the mold which doesn't yet have the carved pattern. The pantograph stylus traces the pattern on the carved section and simultaneously moves an engraving tool through the identical motions on the uncarved section, transferring the pattern. Because this is a 3-sectioned mold, they make 2 copies on the pantograph. The carving tools leave marks on the surface of the cavity, so the next step is to polish them away with emery paper. On the right, you can see the marks, and on the left, the smooth, polished surface. The sections are now ready to be assembled with pins into a complete mold. When it's time to pour in the molten glass, the pins enable the sections to close and interlock. Once the glass cools and solidifies, the pins make it easier to open the mold to extract the casing. Glass artisans and glass manufacturers alike use handcrafted molds to produce a wide variety of glass items from functional to fancy.